So as you can see, I've upgraded my retro collection to an Amiga 1208. This one for some reason says HD next to it. I don't know if that means anything. I'm still pretty new to the Amiga computers. And yeah, I've run into some problems using it. First of all, I don't use a floppy drive, I use this thing, which is an HXC floppy emulator. There's a guy who makes these things customly and sells them online, and they are very, very good. They work with almost all Amiga, Atari, PCs, and I don't know, they work actually with every device that has a floppy interface. And because I don't want to get myself the actual disc, because some of them are really expensive, and then the best case, or in the worst case, they won't even work correctly. Now, if I boot up into Workbench, so I've just gotta go and reset my Amiga. You can see that no lights are turning on, and that's because the case isn't connected to anything. So first of all, it boots perfectly normal into Workbench. It's Workbench 3.0, by the way. That all works just fine. Now the problems that I am experiencing, for that I've actually got to open up my Amiga. You can see I've already prepared everything. Now this device is used, it's not new or anything, and it's actually not in the best condition. But you know, it works. And the problems which I have run into, first of all, I mean, that is just looking horrible for a keyboard connector. I'm gonna find a way to fix that. Probably I will have to get myself a new keyboard, I don't know. Now, as you can see, I've got an 8 MB RAM expansion. This is not a turbo card or anything, it's just a RAM expansion with a real-time clock. The battery's missing. And yes, I have a hard disk drive, which is actually just a compact flash to IDE adapter. Now, I have 3 partitions on that hard disk, and for some reason this is the only partition that shows up, system or DHO. Yeah, the other partitions DH1 and DH2 are just extra storage because I don't want to go into partitions that are bigger than 2 GB or so that's why I have 3 partitions total. It's like 500 megabytes for Workbench, and the others are just, I really don't quite know, but yeah. Now another interesting thing is, this device has a small LED here, which lights up at the same time as the LED for the hard drive on here on the case, but these 2 LEDs won't light up. Now the weirdest thing I have encountered is, as you can see, this the system drive right here, and the RAM, it isn't inserted yet. I am going to insert it right now and show you what happens. Just gonna do that. So the RAM is inserted now, and if I turn on the device now, this happens. First of all, it tells me to insert a disk, and normally it will just boot up a Workbench or just give me a screen showing that no disk, no DOS or anything is on the hard drive, because I still don't have Workbench reinstalled on this thing, so this shouldn't happen. So basically what happens is, just gonna go into Workbench right here. Oops. Also, while that's loading, I'm just going to point out there is a capacitor missing here right next to the floppy power input. It's got the number C822. This is a revision 1D motherboard, I forgot to mention that. You can see there's no blinking lights or anything on that hard disk, and as you can see now, the system drive is gone. So by inserting the RAM expansion, this device for some reason gets shut off. Now I've heard some people having a similar problem, but that was because the power supply they had, this beast here, didn't put out enough amps to power everything on, but they would have a real hard drive. I mean, this thing here takes like nothing of energy, and yeah, this power supply can output up to 4.5 amps. It's from an Amiga 500 actually. So the power supply can power everything on here, so that's not a problem. Also, for some reason, the Kickstarts are two different ones. I don't know if that's normal or not. Hope my camera will focus correctly on that. Yeah. This one here is from MX. And this one here just says Commodore Amiga. And there's the number below it. Yeah. Now the really problem I'm actually having with my Amiga is when I try to load disks. Certain disks like, oops, I don't have the keyboard connected, so I have to go to and reset it manually. Like FA18, which is a flight simulator. This one works just fine. As you can see, it's loading up. For some reason the game is in Spanish. It doesn't matter, I understand Spanish, so yeah. And of course the game has been cracked and everything, so it works. Now if I try to insert a different game, for example Final Fight 2, or just Final Fight, Final Fight, it will try to load it. You can see all the text on here, and then this happens. The signal just shuts itself off. The floppy drive is still loading something, so it's just, oh, that's weird. For some reason the game is working now. The last time I tried this, it didn't work. But what I'm basically trying to explain is that a lot of floppy disks which I have on here don't work. For example, I'm a great fan of the demos for the Amiga computers, and there is one which is actually a retailer demo, which was shown in stores in France. It's called Digital A-1200, which of course is the computer and just shows off the capabilities of the Amiga 1200. So this demo will only work with an Amiga 1200 or after, or sorry, newer. And when I try to load this one, of course text appears and then this happens. I just get a red screen and that's it. Now I have read that this has to do something with the Kickstarts. I'm not quite sure about that. I've ordered 2 new Kickstarts because these don't really look good. The pins are all a bit, yeah, these two have been removed very often. I can see that. And yeah, it just stays red until I eventually power off the Amiga or reset it. Now, similar things also happen to different floppy disks, which when I'm trying to load them, it can't be the floppy emulator because all of these other programs work fine on my Amiga 500. And well, it just tries to load them and then crashes. Yeah. I actually now I actually know why this one Final Fight worked. That's because I have done this ESCOM mod. This wire, you put this one wire on here and to the capacitor which is right next to it. I would actually recommend that you solder it directly onto the pin of the external floppy drive so you don't risk somehow harming the capacitor on here. But actually you can do it just like you want. And for some reason this modification on here has been done. I hope my camera will focus correctly. There we go. There's like a bridge soldered onto one of these capacitors. I don't really know if these are actually capacitors or resistors. I'm not quite sure. And there's just this bridge on here, and well, the device, it's the second from the bottom, and it just says E123, either F or P. I believe it's P because this solder job was very dirty. As you can see, there's fluxes everywhere and it just doesn't look really good. And yeah, I don't really know what is causing that problem, that my Amiga 1200 won't load any disks, or when I insert the RAM expansion, the hard drive won't show up, and that the partitions on my hard drive, the storage partitions, won't show up at all. Yeah, I would love to get this device running actually, and yeah. Now, when I get the Kickstarts, which I've actually ordered from amigakit, I will do another video and show you if that was actually what fixed it, and if somebody knows what kind of capacitor I have to put here next to the floppy drive, again C822 on my Revision D 1D motherboard. Maybe that is one of the things that causes problems, or something else on my entire board is defective. So if anybody knows any solutions for what is actually going on in my Amiga, I would be really happy if you could tell me in the comment section. Thanks a lot.